This is Susan Wilbanks with blendedinsight.com. I am a holistic and integrative healing arts practitioner, an intuitive, and an energy healer. In this podcast, I share tips, tools, and suggestions that have helped me along my path in hopes of inspiring and helping you along yours. Let's get started with today's podcast topic.
Hello, bright soul. Thank you so much for joining me on another podcast. Yes, my voice is still struggling a little bit, but it's getting better every day. It was getting much better, and then I went outside and cut branches, and then I came inside, and here we go again. So it's something in the air, but it's okay. I'm here. I'm grateful to be here, and you all are not going to believe what happened. You're not going to believe what happened. I have to tell you this before we start, because this cat, so I don't know if you all remember a while back when I went to the gym and I came home and I was cleaning out the garage, and then I found these dead mice in the garage and absolutely panicked, blew out my adrenal glands, had to talk myself into getting rid of these things because I didn't want to have to inconvenience someone to have them come over and take care of these dead mice in my garage. Well, I have all these plans, all these things I want to do for the morning. I'm off work for that day, and I'm like, oh, I went to the gym. I can't. Same scenario. I don't know what this is about. So I'm dealing with this little rambunctious orange kitten. And so I come home. He's all over me, weaving in and out of my feet, attacking me, all the things he does. And I go to get a package off the front porch. So I pick him up. I'm all lovey with him and stuff. Anyway, I put him down. I'm going into the kitchen. I'm going to start making breakfast. And then I see him in the corner, and he's focused in the corner, and I'm actually trying to feed him, see if he wants to go outside, because we let our cats, we have a door, a cat door, dog door, whatever, and we allow our cats to go in the backyard, and they don't leave the backyard. They just go in the backyard, play, and come back inside. So during the day, they have free roam in and out of the house. So I was trying to get him to go outside, and he was focused in the corner, and I thought that was so bizarre. So I'm like, oh, well, what are you doing, buddy? So I walk over. Y'all, he had a real mouse. I don't have mice in my house. What? I think he must have went outside and got it and brought it inside. The way I panicked, the way I I didn't know if it was alive. I didn't know. I couldn't tell in that moment. And I'm like squealing. I run to the island. I jump on the island because I'm afraid that it's going to run for my feet. And I'm grabbing a toy, one of those teaser toys, to try to get his attention, try to get him away. He won't turn it loose. He will not turn it loose. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because it's one thing when it's in the garage. It's another thing when it's in my house. It's in the sitting room. And he's having so much fun. He's flipping it in the air. He's doing that thing where they kick it. I call it rabbit footing, where they just grab it and kick it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And so I'm like, I'm going to have to burn this house down. Like, literally, everyone just get your belongings and burn the house down. I can't. I'm panicking. And I'm like, I'm going to have to call 911 and say, excuse me, we have an emergency. My cat brought a mouse in the house. Anyway, so then I realize it's dead. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to get my stick. Those sticks that you pick up trash with? I'm like, I don't think I can do it. And as he's flipping it in the air, I see the tail is long. I'm like, I'm so icked out. I'm just like, the way I can't, y'all, I can't. Like, my cat would never, my little domesticated runt cat that I've had for 10 years would never. And now we've got this rambunctious cat, and my daughter and I were talking, like, something's off with this cat. Like, he has no boundaries. And he's so adorable. He's cute. We love him, but he's just such a handful. It's constant. And I'm telling you, my daughter has a knack for picking these animals. Even when she would get hamsters, she'd get a hamster that's sick. When she got guinea pigs, the guinea pigs are sick. Like, I don't know what it is with my daughter. It's pretty funny. It's something in her path. Anyway, he's just a healthy, rambunctious boy. So I'm like, okay, all right, Susan, you got to focus here. How can we do this? And I'm shaking, y'all. Like, my adrenal glands they're completely blown out. And it's not even 7:00 yet. And okay, you all know those grass patch toys. They're like cardboard boxes with faux grass on the top, and there's holes cut out on the top and in the sides. You can put balls in them, and then they play and they hunt and play. He flips the mouse in the air. It lands on his grass patch toy. He jumps, he pounces on it, smushes it into the box, and he's trying to get at it. And I'm like, okay, that's it. So by the grace of God, I get my stick that you pick trash up with, I grab it and put it in the garage. I'm like, that toy goes in the trash now. It's still sitting out there. I need to put it. I'm so icked out. I know I have to pick it up and put it in the trash can. And I just this cat, y'all. I don't. And then I thought to myself, oh my gosh, is he one of those cats that's gonna kill things in the yard and bring it inside as a gift? I don't want this gift. I'm like, okay. I'm telling my daughter, okay, this is your whatever this is with you. You pick these animals. when when this animal goes with you, when you finally move out, and then she's trying to tell me, "No, I think that I could deal with it. I think it's you." And I'm thinking to myself, "My daughter, she can't deal with bugs." Okay, a couple of months ago, there was a dead bug in her room, and it was almost all the way dead. I don't know how it got in the house. I don't know. But it was on its back and it was almost completely dead. She was screaming. She was screaming like someone was being seriously harmed because it was just in her room. She runs upstairs. I'm literally on the phone with someone. I'm in the middle of something. Like she's in a panic. She's like, "You have to come get this bug." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I had to stop what I was doing and go get the bug. And I'm looking at her like, and you really think you can deal with mice? When we had the mice in the garage, I told her what happened. And she's like, I would have fell to my knees and cried. I'm like, well, good luck, sister. Because when you finally move out and you have this cat, if he has not slowed down by now, um, it's going to be a growth process for you. And she's like, "No, no, no, I can handle it." Like, "Yeah, okay." So then I said, "Well, the next time he does that, I'm gonna wake you up so you can handle it," because she was sleeping at the time. Obviously, it was early morning. Anyway, again, more adventures with cat. I'm gonna call these cat chronicles. Okay, let's move into the topic for today. So this is something that you might be struggling with a little bit because as you're on this path of evolution, you outgrow people and you learn new things. That's part of evolving, that's part of changing. You learn new things and you shift in new directions. And when you're on this path, it's an accelerated path. This can also apply to everyday things. So when this happens, you get this crabs in a bucket mentality where people want to pull you back down because your change makes them uncomfortable. And recently, do you all remember when I tweaked my knee because I was dealing with pervy men and then I didn't set a boundary and my knee went bonkers on me to get my attention so that I set a boundary and dealt with these pervy men, grimy men. I talked about that in a previous podcast. During that time when I was letting my knee heal, I stopped going to Orange Theory for like a week or so just to let my body heal. And I realized I don't like Orange Theory anymore. I'm such a habitual person. I'm committed. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm a person of my word. And I'm so used to the discipline of a practice. And I just get in these routines and I just do it. And I don't even think about it. I just do it. So with Orange Theory, I already train. I lift weights 5 days a week. And that's where the body recomp is. That's where the money is, the strength is really, the fountain of youth is muscle. So I train lifting weights, usually about an hour and a half, 5 days a week. So with Orange Theory, I was going once after work. I was only doing it twice a week, once after work. So I do 2 a day workouts that day, and then once on a Saturday morning. And I noticed I would be tired. So it was probably overtraining too much on my body. And I didn't enjoy it anymore. There was this new studios I attend. There's high coach turnover. All the best coaches leave. They don't hardly ever stay for any length of time. So you get a coach that you really like, they're gone there. So there's something going on with the management. Something's up. And then one of the studios, because I was bouncing between 2 to 3 studios, one of the studios is super clicky, and that's the one closest to my house. So and that's fine, but I don't really want to go to work out and I'm wedged in between two people and I'm sensitive to smells and energy. And then I've got like clicky people that are talking the whole time. I just like, this isn't, why am I doing this to myself? I'm not getting, there's no benefit to it for me because if you lift weights correctly, you get a cardio workout. If you're lifting heavy enough, it gets your heart rate up. And I track my heart rate. My heart rate gets up. And I walk during the day. I have a walking pad. So I'm getting plenty of cardio. I'm getting plenty of movement. And I'm just going to Orange Theory because it's a habit. And I just decided I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't want to. And when I mean to tell you, I am so glad I stopped going. I don't miss it at all. There's nothing about it I miss. I feel better. I would rather go to my regular gym than Orange Theory. So I stopped. And it's kind of funny because I was telling my cousin about it over Thanksgiving because she's wanting to get in shape and I was telling her what I was doing. And then she recently joined and then she's like, "Hey, I joined and I used to use a referral and they said you're not a member anymore." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not a member anymore." I went for, I don't know, like 5 years and it was fun. It served its purpose, but it was no, I outgrew it. I outgrew it. And my as I continue lifting weights, my programs get more and more intense because that's how you continue to increase your volume and continue to grow. You have to put more into it the more advanced you get. So it just doesn't serve me anymore. And it's okay to make those shifts because sometimes we just get it's kind of like the belly dance thing. I almost got sucked into the belly dance out of peer pressure or because people are expecting me to go. And at the end of the day, you have to return to yourself and say, what do you want? What feels good to you? Have you outgrown it? Are you squeezing yourself into small spaces for the comfort of other people? We do that. We tend to do that because we're sensitive and we're compassionate and we're considering everybody else. But sometimes you got to pull it in and say, "What, hey, hold on. What does my soul want? What is serving me in this moment?" And really doing that soul searching and then saying, it's okay to change because the other thing you'll have is people that try to hold your past viewpoints or your past decisions or your past choices over your head as though you can't evolve, as though you can't change. You could get new information today that changes your mind on a subject that you had one opinion or one stance on for 10 years. A shift could happen today and you could change. And again, that's part of the reason we're here. And I know it can be tough. I know, especially when you don't want to outgrow people because you have a certain connection or there's a comfort there and you don't want to outgrow them. You want them to grow with you, but you can't choose another person's path. They have to choose it for themselves. And you don't want to stifle your own growth to try to shrink yourself down so that you can be with another person. And I've been there too. Friendships, it can be family, it can also be romantic. And then you feel like you're going to explode because you're shrinking yourself down to try to fit into a place that you've outgrown. And so, for whatever reason, it came in to talk about this topic that you have permission to change. You're allowed to change. You can change your mind this instant. There could be a practice that you've done for 20 years, and right in this instant, you have an insight where you say, "Yeah, that practice doesn't serve me anymore. I'm done with that." And it's okay. You're not being mean. You're not being selfish. You're being committed to your soul evolution, the reason that you came here, the path that you chose to follow when you incarnated, and you're just remembering it. You're remembering the path. And so that's really all I wanted to offer today. Let's go into a healing. You can uncross your arms and legs, and I will turn the healing on. Okay, and so it is. You can come back into your body. Friends, if you feel drawn, you can look into our High Vibe Lightworker Tribe over on Patreon. The link is in the show notes. Also, if you're curious about breathwork, I have the Pause Breathwork program and app linked in the show notes under breathwork. And as always, I appreciate you so much, and I wish you the most beautiful, magnificent week. Take care. Bye-bye.